Hey everybody, welcome to the Elmnt Show. I'm Anant and you're watching Random Code series. So the topic for today's video is how to truncate the text using CSS rules only. Yes guys, we won't be using any JavaScript based solutions. We will be using CSS only to achieve this. And let me quickly show you what we are trying to achieve here. You can see on the screen we have two content cards. Each one of these cards have three elements: h1, h2 and paragraph. The difference between these cards is that the card on the right side have the text truncated, right? You can see the text truncated here and three ellipses trailing at the end of the content, right? So that's what we want to achieve. All right, before diving into the code itself, let's roll the intro. Okay, another thing. You see, we have these two cards. We'll be testing all our solutions on the card that is on the right side, and we'll keep the left card as it is for reference only. Okay, now let's start with the first solution. If you see, we have already applied this truncate single class on h1 and h2 element. If I remove this from here and save this and look at the result, it's same, right? So this truncate single class, it's doing what we want. It's all right, but how it is doing that? If you go here, you'll see it's a combination of three different CSS properties, right? And this will work only if we are using all these three properties at the same time on our element. It won't work if we remove any one of these properties. So you have to use these properties together. All right, just keep that in mind. But now let's look into the details how it's working. So first property is white space, no wrap. Let me comment these two properties first and just see what this white space no wrap is doing on the element. Now applying this white space no wrap basically force this to not wrap. It will force our element to keep all the content in a single line. It won't allow it to wrap in multiple lines. So that's what it does. Let me save it and show you the result. See this here? It's forcing it to stay in one line only. It's not allowing it to spread across multiple lines. Now, if we use overflow hidden along with white space no wrap, what do you think will happen? So, what does overflow hidden do? So overflow hidden basically forces the content to be hidden if it's overflowing out of the container or content box, you can say, right? For example, if I save this and we look at the result, see, anything that is overflowing is not visible anymore. So that's what it does. Overflow hidden. Okay, and in combination to these two properties, if we add this text overflow ellipses also, any guesses what it does? You can guess. It has to do something with ellipses, right? So it basically tells the browser to add ellipses to any content which is overflowing. and of course this content is overflowing, and it is supposed to add some ellipses at the end of the content now, right? Let's save this and see. So that's how it's working, guys. It's a combination of these three properties. By using these three properties together, we can achieve this, right? So this is a traditional way of doing this using CSS properties, okay? Now, but this solution has its own limitations. And what are those limitations? Any guesses? Okay, let me tell you. You see, we have these multiple lines coming on our elements, right? Now, what if our design requires us to keep a number of lines to be shown and rest of the content to be truncated, right? In this solution, we don't have that control. It's always gonna make this content to be truncated and ellipses to be added, but in one line only. For example, if I change this class and apply the same rules that we just tested on a multiple line paragraph, what do you think it will do? See, it converted it into a single line and added the ellipses. It did what we wanted, but it made sure that it only happened in one line, which we don't want in all the cases, right? Alright, so now our second solution helps us deal with this particular situation. But here comes that disclaimer part I mentioned before. If you look at these properties, you'll find we are using these WebKit prefixes here, right? So what it means is that we are relying on WebKit's proprietary solution, and it's not part of the official solution provided by CSS specification in all the different browsers. It's relying on the WebKit's proprietary solution only. Okay, it works, but it's not the official final solution, you can say. So be advised and cautious before you decide to use it in the production environment. Alright, before going into the details, guys, I'll quickly show you the browser support for this WebKit line clamp property. Okay, as you can see, all the major browsers like Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Opera, Safari, all these browsers support this. Okay, but now if you look at this, we are using another property here called WebKit Box Orient. Okay, so guys, if you go to this WebKit Box Orient properties page, you'll start seeing these kind of warnings. So after seeing all these kind of warnings, I tried different combinations of the CSS properties and values, even these original ones without any WebKit or Moz prefixes. So unfortunately they are not working, and I looked at different properties that are there in the CSS specification also. So they are not supported right now officially by any browser. So right now the only solution is this, which I have coded here. So this is I personally tested it on Firefox, Google Chrome, and Microsoft Edge with Chromium base, I believe. So it's working fine on these three browsers, and I've tested it on some Android and iOS browsers also. It was coming quite fine. So But again guys, if you decide to use it on any of your production websites, please either use some sort of polyfill or try to keep up to date with this specification, specifically this line clamp specification, right? And another thing I want to mention is that I was going through the CSS specification for line clamp and I saw this legacy compatibility section here. According to this, I am assuming that they'll continue supporting this WebKit line clamp property even when this original line clamp property is properly implemented in all the browsers in future. But again, if you are using it in the production, I do suggest that you keep up to date with this specification and its status. Alright guys, if you liked this video, please do hit that like button. If you have any suggestions to make these kinds of videos better, do leave a comment down below. And if you are new to this channel and want to watch more these kind of videos, please do consider subscribing to the Elmnt channel. That is all for now guys. This is Anand signing off now. Let's catch up in the next one.